Namaste. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and today I'm here to share with you some more reflections on the Wild Unknown Tarot. This has been a powerful, important deck in my library of tarot decks for some time. And I decided after I purchased the latest edition that had the the colored Justice card, that I was going to color my old mass market deck. And so this is what I am sharing with you over the course of, I don't know, several weeks. And I'm not really working on this project outside of these live videos. And so part of my intention is just a relaxing coloring project, but also just to share with you how I view the colors and perhaps give you some more insights into the Wild Unknown Tarot as I begin to color my deck. Also, I'm just going to share with you the medium that I am using for this. So I'm going to just go to the lid of my pencil crayons. So I am using pencil crayons. And I'm really glad that I chose this, because after last week's live, I did erase some of the things that I had done. I just wasn't happy with it. So it's kind of nice to be using pencil crayons, and then you can let go of the color if you're not happy with that. So this is what I'm using: Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. This was a birthday gift this summer. So I'm really grateful for that. And I rearranged the colors in the tins so that this layer is all browns and yellows and golds, and it's easier for me to access. Like it's a lot of pencil crayons. I'm not an artist, but I do love this kind of thing, and it's a meditative practice. I don't know if any of you have done coloring in like those mandala style coloring books or anything like that. It's very gentle. So we're going to start today. I decided to choose the theme of rainbows and chocolate colors, and I'm going to talk about the energy of these colors as I hi Dee, welcome. And welcome to Lydiane. And I want to welcome Lisa. Lisa is a new member to Integrative Healing with Sadhana. So thank you so much for joining the channel. And what I was saying, so we're going to go through the chocolate colors. I'm going to start with this crimson red pencil crayon. And last week I was talking about the fathers. So hi Shannon. I don't have any crayons to color my deck with. Oh well, maybe at some point it's something that you would want to do. This is the animal deck over here, which I am going to refer to today. I decided to pull that out as well. Okay, so we were talking about the fathers last week, the kings, and I just wanted to kind of go back and talk about them a little bit more, because I feel like there's something to be said for the colors in the father cards. So we have Father of Cups, Father of Swords, Father of Wands, and we just need Father of Pentacles. And I'm not sure where he has gone. Oh, he's over here. Okay. All right. Hopefully everything will stay in sync. So one of the things in working with color, and I really do pay attention to color in tarot, I find it interesting that in the sword, can you see here in the Father of Swords, the red is at the tip. So the red is at the tip, where if this were used as a weapon, this would be in contact with another person. And the same with if there was a conflict and this stag was being an aggressor, that the red is at the tip. And I just find that really interesting. And also in the Father of Cups, the red would be perhaps where the Father Swan would be in contact if there was some kind of an aggression. And I thought that was really interesting. But what is different and doesn't fit this pattern is that in the Father of Wands, the only color is on the lightning. And we have red and orange. red and orange, and there's no color on this cobra. So one of the things I am going to do so that it fits this pattern is I'm just going to color the tongue of the Father Cobra red, which is all I'm going to do for now on this card. But, and hi, Andrea, I see that you popped in. I'm just going to look at your comment in a second. Oh, you like the, yeah, they're really, I'm really, really enjoying them. Yes, and now some people have added borders. And one of the things I didn't notice until I started doing this project was that there are a few cards in this deck. Here's one that has colored borders already. So one is the Tower card, this one, which I'm going to be coloring today, 8 of Pentacles, and there's a few that have colored borders. So I may do that. But these little bits of color that I'm adding here and there are really quite intentional. So the opposite observation of this, which is really kind of cool, only in these two fathers. Oh, you know what? I think eventually you might change your mind because it is really fun. And if you have quality pencils, it makes all the difference. Where the close to the crown chakra, we have purple. And if this were being held by a swordsman and the hand was on here, this green connects to the heart chakra. And I just thought that was really cool, that where the hand would go, that it would be connected to the heart space if you read the colors that way. And I have no intention, I have no idea if there is that much, you know, of why Kim colored these the way that she did. Kim Kranz, the creator of this deck. But I really have enjoyed taking my time with these observations. And it's becoming, I don't know, what do I want to say? It's really becoming apparent that there is all kinds of potential for adding extra layers of meaning to this deck. Yeah, so I am going to color today the 8 of Pentacles. I'm also going to color the World card. And last week, I was reflecting on the strikes of lightning throughout the deck. And this is the only strike of lightning in the deck that is not colored. And last week, I colored it purple and I erased it. I wasn't happy with that. I did add a little bit of purple here on the snake, and it's what I realized is that I should have done it. I don't have my eraser here. I should have done it scale by scale. And so I'm probably going to erase that and do it scale by scale so it looks better. So what I'm going to do to match the energy of the Lemniscate in the Ace of Swords is I'm going to color the interior snake of the World card. And I'm gonna do that. I'm leaning quite far over from where I am, but hopefully you guys can see. And I can zoom in a little bit. And what I want to do is, so you see here how she's got red, and she goes around this way, clockwise, which is kind of interesting. So the reds start over here. And so I thought I would just match that and make this, add a little bit more color into this one. And I don't know if I'm going to color everyone or overlap the colors or what. I don't really have a plan. But I just thought this was cool. So one of the things I want to talk about today is the use and the effect of the full color versus the absence of color, and how that might play into readings as well too. I've observed this in a few other decks as well, where there is definitely absence of color. And I want to, I don't know, I really feel like the more attention we play to these little details, the more we can get out of our readings. And So I'm just going to start putting in some orange. And when I'm working with chakras, so this is another thing that I want to say to you, is that if you come from a school of a yoga school, some kind of mystic school, where the colors that you learned for the chakras are different, that I'm fully aware of that. When I want to say I grew up, I didn't grow up, I came later in life to the Satyananda lineage. The chakra colors in that school are different than the Rajita colors. So some of you have worked with other decks, I know, chakra decks, and have made comments on that. And the reason for that is that in meditation, a lot of the chakra colors come through in different ways. So in the center of the heart space, for example, in if you work with a lot of the yoga teachers, the yoga mystics, the color blue is definitely prominent in the heart space. And you're going to learn different colors. And so I guess what I want to say is that if you have a meditation and all of a sudden the solar plexus chakra turns, I don't know, bright orange as opposed to a yellow color, to know that is that's what the color that's supposed to come through for you. You know, we don't have to the rainbow shifts colors all the time, right? The subtle shades of the colors of the rainbow are going to depend on what light is being reflected. You know, sometimes in the rainbow, you don't get to see all of the colors. Yeah. So let me know if you are coloring something and what you are coloring. I can turn my camera like this. Not that you want to see the side of my head, but I don't know, I've wanted to do this for a while. There's a few different people. So those of you that follow Boho Tarot, Dawn. So on her Facebook page, there's been quite a few people that have colored it, and I've seen it on other Facebook pages as well too, when people have colored their deck. And I haven't really watched anybody color their deck to hear, listen, to see what what the thoughts are on why the color is added or not added to the deck. Yeah. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to erase the purple there and do the purple scale by scale, so it looks a little bit better. And I think I'm just going to do the snake on the snake skin on the inside, and then leave the outside, because I think the outside looks good the way it is. So why rainbow colors? Why are some cards in this deck fully colored and others not so much? Why are there some cards that have zero color and some cards that are full? And so once I've done this one, I want to share with you some of the fully colored cards and just talk about that a little bit, because there's a lot that we can learn from paying attention to this. Yeah. Absence versus a lot of color. So what is this? I might actually color in some of the stars as well too. So the Daughter of Cups, I believe, and the Daughter of Cups, these are colored in. These little sparkles of light, so I can add some of the color that I'm putting in down below. Yeah. It's kind of hard to focus and talk to you at the same time. And I will continue to pop up to the chat. So if you have any suggestions or anything you want to add, let me know. So the world, to me, to recognize the fulfillment of energy, and this card is kind of the crux of the energy. And I think a lot of the time we want to rush through our endings. There's a tendency, we're done, so let's just be done with it. And I kind of want to linger in the energy of the world card. And I love when this card comes up, if there's a retirement or something like that, and to have an opportunity or a conversation to talk about what that might look like in the parent's life. And also the discomfort with endings. And so when this card comes up, there's often uncomfortable ending cards. Such a beautiful energy. I'm going to get some coral here. So what does it mean to you that, it's very interesting the way that this is drawn. To me, this almost looks like a piano. I don't know if you've ever seen the piano here before, but I often think of piano, a keyboard. And then in the center, we have the Ouroboros. And also within that, we have the flowers that are on the Wands cards, which I decided to color red in the Ace of Wands because they are red in the Page of Wands. Did you know that? So I might put some color on those because I feel like this is definitely a card of celebration. And if it's a card of challenge, well, why not have color too? Yeah. Compare the world and spider, same colors. Well, I'm going to color the spider today. I'm going to color the Eight of Pentacles. And I want to talk about why. So here in this card, so this is the one I'm going to color. Why did Kim leave this one, do you think, blank? Maybe I'm going to use a different green here. Right, so in the Animal Oracle, the spider is multicolored, but in the Eight of Pentacles, there is an absence of color. So what is that? What does that say to you? Because it's kind of, I think it's important. I'm just adding some different blues so it shows, so it all shows up. And the fun part of doing this is that there's no rush to complete this project. This can happen, I can still use the deck with some cards colored and other cards not colored. Yeah. And this deck has silver as well too. Silver, I wonder if the silver will show up. Not so much. Not so much. Okay, so red. The flowers on the Ace of Wands have no color. And the flowers in the Daughter of Cups are red. And they're very similar to these. So
I'm going to make these red, just like those ones. I wonder, I don't know if this is, if long term, how this is going to change the energy of the deck. If I will love this always, or this will end up. Anyway, that's one of the reasons why I want to take my time with this, is to really feel or be intentional about the coloring.
So there we go. So the world has a little bit more color. We seem to have lost ceremonies for endings. I like lingering over the world card energy. Honor the end. Yeah. It almost makes me want to color in the other circle, but I'm going to leave that for today. That feels like enough. And so like on this one, I'm like I said, oh yeah, can you see my finger? Where's my finger? Yeah, this one you probably can't see it, but I'm going to erase the purple that I added there, and then do that scale by scale. And I need a little bit more color here.
There's a lot of little details here. You know that Kim hand lettered the guidebook, right? The guidebook is all hand lettered. It's not a font. Have you heard that? And so when there is an error, when there was an error in the hand lettering, or the publisher wanted to change it, it all had to be done by cutting and pasting and gluing and arranging and so forth. Yeah, it's not a font. I'm not sure that I would ever have the patience for that. Okay, so my intention for coloring this card, and I'm going to color it differently than the spider is colored in the animal card, is the Eight of Pentacles. To me, has so much potential energy, and I love the I don't know, I've always loved this card. I feel like, and this card has something, it has something to do with this card. What does it have to do with this card? When we come to a certain place in our life and we decide that we no longer, we want to shift gears. Often this happens with a shift in job and so forth, or we're questioning our life path or something like that. I know it happened to me when I was in grade 12, and you go to the counselor, you do these tests, and or you sit in the library and you do this battery of tests for your your EQ, your IQ, your career potential, and all of that. And I was told by the counselors that it would not be a good idea if I went to technical school. I wanted to go to a local technical institute and be a journalist or a radio announcer or a TV broadcaster, or maybe one of those journalists that travels all over the world and covers major events. So I really wanted to go and do this. And I had a kind of a cousin that did this, worked for the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and I always admired her lifestyle. Anyway, I was strongly discouraged from doing this. People thought I was crazy because I was smart and I was more of an academic. And I'd taken all academic courses at high school because that's what, I don't like that orange. I'm in a different orange. Anyway, so I didn't go. So my point in sharing this story with you is that with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like it's a redo. It's an opportunity for a redo. To go and to focus on something that perhaps you knew that you always wanted to do. And I have another story. So I have my ex-husband, actually. My ex-husband, after he graduated from law school, he was in Europe. He was really good at languages. Picked up dialects and languages really easily and grew up speaking German and English, and his French is pretty good. And I'm sure if he was in Spain that his Spanish would be good. Anyway, he was always very curious about cultures, and he got a job, or he had a potential to practice law in Europe. And this is when he was in his 20s. And he had a call, I don't know if it was a call or a letter or something from his father, that his partner had died. His law partner had died, and it was, he needed him to come home now. It was time to stop playing, and that he was needed in the family law business. It wasn't a family law practice at that time, but yeah, so he kind of gave up this, I don't know, just this amazing opportunity to work overseas, to work in Switzerland, actually, I think it was, and to go home and to fulfill his duty as the eldest son. And I feel that always there was some regret. And so when this Eight of Pentacles comes up, I often ask people these kind of questions. Is there something somewhere along the way that, and I don't know why I feel that with this card. I love the energy of the potential redo. So why am I coloring it from the root chakra going outward? Hi, Andy. And why did I start with red at the center? And why am I going to go out and out and out with the higher frequency colors? So at the center is the family. At the center is the root chakra. And when I'm not sure where I want to go with this conversation. So as the spider web expands, as the spider web goes out and out, I believe the frequency of it becomes higher and higher. It also becomes more fragile, right? The strength of the spider web is in the center. And it's often the center of the spider web will remain, and you'll see webs that get repaired because the strength is in the center. The strength of the spider web is in the base chakras, the lower chakras. And it's just really interesting that this is a really important frequency and energy to heal and to work with. A lot of the times we talk about no grounding. There's always relation issues with family relationships. And yes, the color red is also associated with blood. which is not root chakra. Blood is something else, but blood also has to do with family and roots and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to put red at the center because the strength, the potential, our potential strength, our potential, uh, our potential for strength can begin with family. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean family of blood. It could mean family, the family that we grew up with. And I forgot to get back to Amy. Oh my goodness. Amy, who is Mystic Rose Tarot, and I want to talk about family of blood versus adoptive families. And this is a topic that is very close to my heart. So often I use the word tribe instead of family. And sometimes that word doesn't ring well with people because it has perhaps a connotation to Aboriginal groups. But when I say tribe, I mean your people. Your people. And so in balancing the root chakra, we find we need to be able to go fluidly in and out of the tribe. And the more discomfort we have with our family, the more issues we have with this chakra. And what I mean by this, it's not always just single chakras, but there's a voice that changes as we are with family, and we have a different voice with our work people. We maybe we dress differently or we act differently. And if we're able to be truly authentic, when we move in and out of the center, when we move in and out of the family, this doesn't change. We're just us. We're just who we are. And so at the center is the color red. At the center is this is turning into an ASMR series. Yeah. I don't know where I left off, but let's just start here. I often, when I do readings in person, look at and I pay attention to what color people are wearing when they come into a reading. Are they hiding in black? Are they do their questions? Now I'm getting a little more free with my pencil here because the lines are really close together. And do the colors that they're wearing reflect the energy or have anything to say about the question that they're asking? I've had a no black, I know I'm wearing a dark color right now, but I've had no black Sadhana for a while. It all started at a particular training that I went to, and we weren't allowed to wear black. So I have almost no black in my wardrobe. The frequency of black is only worn by the gurus. It is said that they are the only ones who can carry the frequency of black. It's a very hard frequency to carry. And so the sannyas, monks in training. They all wear orange. They don't wear black. You don't wear black until you're enlightened, until you're realized, until you can carry that. And part of that has to do with the transmuting of the energy. Good question, Andy. How does the lack of family affect the root chakra? I think part of that is that, okay, so I've got a darker blue here. So the lack of family, I believe, gets replaced by surrogates, people who aren't blood or adopted family, who are called aunties and uncles. Sometimes family becomes our work family. And if family is on the other side, so if family has all died, the energy of family is still there. It's just a different frequency. And then the other thing that I work with people is that family. So if family is absent, then in part of the healing process is to work in extension with healing, especially the mother and father archetype, through the divine mother and divine father. And so I have several different exercises and practices that I get clients to work with in healing relationship with mother through connection with the divine mother and the divine father. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Do you want to know what I mean by that? So, and again, most of my work comes through yoga practices, teaching. Scarlet's in bed. Severe PTSD. So PTSD, Yoga Nidra works really well with PTSD. There's so I've done quite a bit of training in a few different schools of Yoga Nidra. So Yoga Nidra is it's a guided meditation, and Yoga Nidra takes us into a place where we liminal space where we can be in that place between awake and asleep. And so where we are closer to our subconscious. And the intentions and the communication that happens in those practices can clear and move and bring things into realization. It's also intensely relaxing. Yeah. So Yoga Nidra is a wonderful tool for PTSD. But it's really, really, when PTSD is severe, having a counselor, having a support team is hugely important. I don't think you can go and heal PTSD on your own. I think PTSD is you do definitely need support to be healing PTSD, but it's possible. Sciatic nerve. Andrew, did you chime in on sciatic nerve? So sciatic nerve is down low, perhaps connected to family, perhaps connected to root chakra. I would get yourself a holistic counselor, and also somebody who works with movement as well too. So if you've ever done any kind of qigong or tai chi, Scarlett, that's the kind of thing that the kind of movement that will really help. Swimming, if you like swimming, but any kind of meditative movement practice is really good for all of that. And lying in bed doesn't help at all. And so often you need somebody to help you get out of bed and get moving. So yeah, so that's my 8 of Pentacles. With the frequency of color becoming higher and higher as we move to the outside. Another thing that perhaps I think I'm going to leave it white for now, but is to color each of those pentacles a different color. Yeah. Okay, so when I said I was going to share with you, there's a lot of cards in this deck that have a lot of color. So what about chiropractor? Well, you can definitely start with it. You can put on if it is a more holistic chiropractor, for sure, but it's not just about shifting the spine. There's I would use chiropractor in association with a restorative yoga practice, or if you do, and you know what another really great thing is Thai massage. If you know a Thai massage practitioner that you can see once a week. Yeah. So the Lover's card is one, and I did have them all right here. 10 of Cups is another one, and 10 of Pentacles. And the concentric circles in this one also start red and go purple to the outside. And I should have actually had this side by side here. So my intention with, now that this card is colored very similarly to the 10 of Pentacles, I'm wondering, very interesting. So the 10 of Pentacles, often people talk about in relationship to ancestry, right? It's about the connections with family. And so at the center is the root. The center is the base chakra. And as we move out, we move out and out into the world. But kind of cool that I ended up coloring that one very similarly. So this 10 of Cups energy, if you, in this deck, the Roman numerals are on the top. And notice here how we have red. So we have this cup is emanating red, and one line of red goes into each of the cups below. This cup is emanating orange, and then one line of orange goes into each cup below. And then same with yellow and green and blue. So the cups that are on the top have single colors, and the cups that are on the bottom each have all of the colors. And I don't know if that, how that might look or connect in a reading, but it's kind of clever the way that the way that it's drawn. So we have a full span of color. There's no purple in the Lovers. The 10, the two receptive 10s. There's not a lot of cards in this deck that are full color. There's some that are softer colors. There's only 2 rainbows in the deck. There's a rainbow in the Daughter of Pentacles, and there's a rainbow in the Seven of Swords. These are the only two rainbows in the deck. And both of the rainbows are drawn with the red on the top. And I don't know if that is scientifically, if that's the way we see the rainbow or not. But I find it interesting. So this to me is very much a deer in headlights kind of energy with the Page of Pentacles. The way that she is in the dark. I'm not, I haven't entirely figured out this particular deer energy and why. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this one. I totally understand the rainbow in the Seven of Swords. Right, in the distance, we have the idea of hope and so forth. There's also rainbow energy on the star and the star card. And we have all of the colors of the rainbow in the star. The single star, not the stars that are around it. So I may color those stars around the star. It feels like they need to be colored. And then, other than the card that I colored today, we have full color, but not all of the colors of the rainbows in some of the other ones. Now, look at the Daughter of Cups. Do you remember what I was saying about the kings? So the kings have the red furthest away, but the daughter has the red closest to her. That's kind of interesting. If you get my what I'm saying here. So the three fathers, the three fathers who are over here, right? So the red is furthest away on the sword. But the page has the Page of Cups, who is the most intuitive, feels the red closest to the body. And so what does that mean? The red is close in the page and furthest away in the fathers. And then here's another pattern. So if you look at the Wheel card, the red is also in the center. Right? Much like the way that Kim colored it in the 10 of Pentacles. So I'm curious, for those of you that are watching now or later on, how you feel about this. What does it mean that the red is in the center, other than what I've already shared with you from my own interpretations? Okay, so those are the flowers that I just colored the flowers in that one. And where I'm going to go from here is to look at all of the cards with absence of color and to see what I might add in those. And I'm curious if those of you that have done this project, I did color in the Mother of Swords the other day, and so for example, this card, to me, which is usually such a beautiful card in the tarot, often, it's green and lush, has no color. So next time I come back, I'm going to add more. This is one I did last week. I'm going to add some more, few darker colors to that, make it a little more intense. I'm going to add some more darker purples to that one. Right, so what is this absence of color? And also, last week I colored her left paw black and I erased it. I didn't like the way that turned out. So I want to look at these cards that have absolutely no color and contemplate what that means. So this four, I know this is a really difficult card for a lot of people in this deck. The rat on top of the 4 cups. Right? And the 4 of Cups energy is, it's really, it's a hard energy, and it's like the emotions are bottled. That rat is covering up whatever is contained within the cups, if there's anything in there. And perhaps it represents a level of toxicity as well too, if you associate rats with toxicity. So I want to think about that a lot. Let's go to Lily's comment. 10 of Pentacles, a pentacle in center, like a huge energy that explodes to the others, a tsunami. Okay, so let's look at the Ace of Pentacles in comparison. So there's the Ace and the 10. So does that make sense that we started with the fire at the center? Have you ever looked at these 2 cards side by side and thought that perhaps the 10 of Pentacles is a close-up of the Ace of Pentacles? Yeah. And I wonder if that, how you feel about that with the other cards as well too. I like to do that comparison, and I have a few decks, not too many, where there's a beautiful story between the Ace and the 10. And if I could find a deck that had that real feeling of completion, and I'm not talking about a Tarot de Marseille or a super pippish deck, but a deck that really was able to illustrate the full growth. And in this deck here, we have no color. We have the absence of color in 2 of them, and full color in 2. And the Ace of Cups is a really funny card to me. So the Ace of Cups, to me, it looks like the way that the cup is drawn. It looks like the birds. It looks kind of hairy to me. And so we have blue for water, and then we have the light energy emanating from the top of the cup. And then in the 10 of Cups, this is what we get. So I think in the Ace 10 of Pentacles, it's done really, really well. Okay. So I'm going to leave you for today, and let me know if you're doing any of this coloring. I'm going to just touch on the last couple comments here. It seems like a Lenormand kind of energy. So in Lenormand, when we look at the mice card, the mice card, it's about something is being eaten away. What is being destroyed? There's a toxicity, right? There's a level of uncleanliness. And the mice card is difficult. It's also interesting to see which way the mice are facing. Where's the head of the mouse? Where's the tail of the mouse? Which way is the rat? Which way is the rat going? You know, in this card, what is the card? Where is the rat headed? Also note that the rat is heading to the left, right, into perhaps the past. Maybe the rat it's easier for the rat to deal with the past. The rat is not capable of looking ahead, of leaving the past behind, right? And the 4 of Cups energy is like that. We want to stay in our darkness. We don't have the strength to go forward. So many layers, right? It's really quite amazing. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful, Lily. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Okay. Well, enjoy. enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope to see some of you on Tuesday. Namaste.